My name is Corie Mapp. I am a PCSO. I am currently based at Swindon Central South Community Policing Team. We spent the entire lockdown, having never met each other or anything, recording everything on a daily basis until we got to the end of it. Um, it was, for me, having gone through all I've gone through, was a really cathartic experience because I had lost a lot of memories um, in in from that explosion and whatnot. So it was nice because I got to talk to my mum about some of the things that I would have done as a kid, and my sisters reminded me about things. It was a really good experience. I first came here in 1985 to visit my uncle, and he took me to Buckingham Palace, and that's the first place where I met a Grenadier Guard. And I told him at that time and my sister, I want to do this, I want to do that. I did get to live my dream. I did some cool things like investitures and tripping of the colour and that kind of stuff. And to be completely honest, there's no more proud feeling than riding out the ceremonial gate to escort Her Majesty. So yeah, it was a fantastic experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So we deployed to Masakala in 2009. Yeah, 2009. Um, and essentially, we had gone through the whole period with no injuries or anything. We were very, very safe. We were very good at our job. But the day on that particular day that I got injured, there was a sergeant from the Royal Anglians who was assisting with the training of Afghan police and soldiers, and he was deployed with them on that day, and he was shot in his face, and the bullet was threatening his life at the time. So they wanted to establish an HLS, a helicopter, for a helicopter to come in and extract him. But unfortunately, the Taliban had them pinned down at the time. So I had to get onto the high ground and try and, kind of draw fire so that they could get him moved. But I never made it to the high ground. So when I woke up, I was in Selly Oak in Birmingham, Queen Elizabeth, and um, it was a weird experience because I thought, I don't know what I thought actually, to be completely honest. I was telling the nurse to take my boots off, a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't think she actually knew what to tell me, what to say. So she became very emotional and she left the room and went out to to get a consultant and to get my family members. Uh, so they all came in, and then he brought the news to me of what had happened. And from there, it was just a process of trying to figure out how to move forward. Essentially, I found it very hard at first because um, processing something like that, um, I don't think you can adequately explain how you process it. I remember some stuff like my first shower, which I talk about in the book, and you know, the nurse wheeled me into the bathroom, and at that point you see all the blood pouring off you as the water runs on your skin, and your hair falling out as you are having a bath. And for me, I completely broke at that point because I felt, um, what's actually left for me. Um, so, you know, the nurse then found it difficult hearing me kind of sob or cry in the bathroom, and she came in. She gave me a hug and kind of got me through that. And then later on that day, I saw my kids, and they were so positive that I had no choice but to embrace the fact that I'm still alive and they still see me as dad. So um, from there, I kind of grew. So I was injured in January, and I went back to work in May, I believe, having passed the fitness test as well. So it was pretty cool experience. So I was pretty proud of being able to do that, being able to go back to work. They did find a job for me, but I didn't want to be. I wanted to go back to my squadron and kind of function in as normal a way as I possibly could, but it wasn't possible. And then at that point, you told you that you're going to be medically discharged. So um, it was a kind of a kick to the gut in a sense, but it is what you needed, because you need to kind of, you can't allow the army at that point to be a crutch. You got to try and figure out, where you want to go with your life and what you want to do. So in that regard, sport became my crutch, and that's where bobsleigh and volleyball and cricket and everything else came in. Sport gave me something to get up for in the morning, something to live for. It gave me a passion to try and, it gave me essentially a will to live, and it also let me know that the injury isn't going to define the person I become. And the guy asked me, "Do you fancy trying bobsleigh?" So at this time I told him, "Nah, I'm broken enough already." So he said, "No, it'll be fine. You got good hand-eye coordination from driving the CVRT tank, from cricket, from golf, from all these things. I think you'll be successful at it." So I didn't try it the first year, but the second time he came and I went to Calgary with them and tried it, and the coaches said, "You know what? You're natural at this. We want you to continue with it." And the story goes from there. It's surreal, actually, because I never thought I would be that good at anything, to be completely honest. But it's I don't really, to be completely honest, I don't really think about it. I just see it as something I love and something that I want to do. It's not necessarily the be all or end all of my life, so to speak, but I just really love it. It gives me a freedom and adrenaline rush that I have experienced of adrenaline rushes, obviously on tour and different things, but it gives you a different feeling, a feeling of freedom, similar to skydiving actually. But yeah, I just love it, and I would love to go on to win more medals. Hopefully represent the country at the Paralympics in 26 and move on from there. I know now that I can function outside of sport. I know now that I don't need sport as a crutch. I know now that I can function day to day, and I can achieve things outside of a sporting environment, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really happy with where I am. I'm happy with my life choices. I don't have any regrets for joining, or regrets for anything that's happened in my life, so to speak. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I want people to be inspired by it. I want people to. I want. This is the difficult part that I find to explain, in a sense, because it's a story, but it's also a story about trying to overcome adversity. And it's a story about a person who has had a hand dealt that was a pretty rough one, but that hand didn't define the person that they became. And I want people who are going through difficult circumstances, I want it to reach them. That's the demographic I'm looking at reaching. That's the type of person I'm looking at reaching. So for me, it's important that people that read it try and understand it through my eyes. I'm not sure that's possible, but unless we all go through things, and it depends on how you take those things and how you internalize them, and you can take a negative and turn it into a positive, and that's what I want people to do. That's what I want people to see from this book.